Okay, so the problem this time says, what is the concentration of an aqueous solution with a volume of 450 milliliters that contains 200 grams of iron 2 chloride? So step one says, identify the given information. And in the beginning, it asks, what is the concentration? That's your first clue for that you're dealing with molarity. And the next thing says that you have a volume of 450 milliliters. So I'll write that as my first given, 450 milliliters. And it says you have 200 grams. That's a mass. So I'll write 200 grams. And you're dealing with iron 2 chloride. So the compound formula for that is FeCl2. And if you're unsure about how I came up with that formula, I have videos on writing compound formulas and you should check those out. So next step says apply math or physical laws that relate given information. So far we've been given a volume and we've been given a mass and we've been asked to find the concentration. Now in the beginning I said that the word concentration was a clue to molarity because molarity is the concentration of solute in the solution. Now that we see the other givens, you should be almost certain that you're dealing with molarity. And the formula for molarity is M equals the amount of moles over the volume in liters. So molarity is what we're looking for in this problem. So we were given grams as our mass, and that can be converted over to moles. And we were given volume in milliliters, and that can be converted over to liters. So we have everything in order to find for molarity. So let's convert the volume first. We have 450 milliliters, and I'm going to put that over 1. And in order to get rid of the milliliters but end up with liters, I'm going to write milliliters in my denominator of my ratio, and I'm going to write liters on top so that after I multiply, liters will cancel and I'll be left with, milliliters will cancel and I'll be left with liters. So what's the relationship between milliliters and liters? Well, 1 milliliter equals 0.00, sorry about that, 001 liters. So you do the multiplication and you see that milliliters cancel and you're left with 0.45 liters. So the next thing to do is convert these 200 grams to moles. But first we have to find the relationship between grams and moles for iron 2 chloride. So in order to do that, we got to do like step 5 says and look up the element's masses. So for iron, find that 55.8 grams per mole. That's the mass there. And for chloride, you'll find that 35.5 grams per mole. It's the mass of that. But when you look at the compound formula, you see that you have 1 iron and 2 chloride. So we're going to have to multiply the mass by 2. That's going to give us 71.0 grams per mole. Okay. So now we're going to sum those two together to find the total mass of iron 2 chloride. And that turns out to be 126.8 grams per mole. So now we know the relationship between grams and moles for iron 2 chloride. And we can use that to convert the 200 grams that we were given. So 200 grams, we'll put it over 1 just like we did for the conversion of the volume. And we want to get rid of grams, so we'll put grams in the denominator. So 126.8 grams is 1 mole. When you do the multiplication, you find that the grams will cancel out and you'll be left with moles. And you will be left with 1.58 moles. Okay? So now you take those numbers that you found the liters and you found the moles, and it's just plug and chug from this point. So you have 1.58 moles and you have 0.45 liters. After you do the division, you find that you have 3.5 molarity. And that's it. I hope I was able to help. And if you'd like more practice on molarity type problems, you can check out my other videos on it. And until then, take care.